Welcome back to Empresarios y Emprendedores. I'm Kike Flores, and today we have a very exciting guest. He's someone who has mastered the art of setting the vibe and creating unforgettable experiences. Joining us is a talented local DJ and business owner, a music engineer who has been rocking the decks and producing beats that resonate the audience across the state of AZ. So, DJ E, welcome to the show, man. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you. That was a badass introduction. I liked it.
Bro, man, it's the truth, man. I mean, you and I have spoken for a while, and
We
I
have.
always feel that all the vibes I get from you, they're always positive, man. So that little intro, to be honest, it took me not too long to write it down, from the heart, to be honest, just because I felt that you deserve it. I Before we begin, I just want to say thank you, because I was even going back through our DMs when we first started talking, when we first opened up the business. You went over. I think you were the one that reached out first when I was looking for a DJ one night.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I went back to the conversations and I had posted that we're looking for a DJ. You reached out, and from there it's been history. I mean, I still remember that up to this day. I mean, you offered to help us, even free of charge. You said, "Hey, man, I'll come in here. I'll help you guys rerun all the wires for the audio so it can sound badass." And I just thought, like, man, like this is badass. Like this guy is legit trying to help us out.
Yeah,
just to
most
like
definitely.
do his good diligence, and I thought that was really badass.
And you know what? And not to overstep on any questions you might be asking me, but that's really what set the foundation for a lot of the clients and customers that I have to, it makes it more personable
Yeah.
for a lot of people. And I think I would say that maybe 80%, maybe more of all my customers are returning one after the other, constantly over the years. So
That's a big margin, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's awesome because I was thinking about that. I was like, I let's pretend someone hires you for a quinceañera. You have a birthday party once a year. Like, damn, like to be a DJ, you have to be able to go out and always be looking for new clients because that person only has a birthday once a year.
yeah.
But just like you said, maybe if you go above and beyond, that same person might, still bring you back for, I don't know, some other type of celebration that's not just their birthday. So you might see them, 2, 3, 4 times throughout the year. So that's
Yeah.
badass.
And it makes it pretty cool because a lot of the families that I've had the chance to DJ for, I went all the way from marrying their parents when they were in high school, not marrying them but doing their wedding, and then they have kids, so then I do gender reveals and baby showers and so on and so forth, and then it gets into, sometimes I even get into their high school proms, and it's just
Yeah.
one after the other. They keep coming back and recommending, and it's cool because there's some families where there's a family out in Surprise. I'm not going to say their last name, but shout out to you guys because you guys know who you are. I've done every single wedding in their family, including the parents.
Damn.
And I believe it was like 6 or 7 weddings that I've done for them now over the past 10 years.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's cool. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm happy to have set the foundation for the business like that. So.
Okay. So how many years have you been in or doing
So
this?
there's a little controversy on that. There's a
Okay.
little controversy. So I started just over 9 years old, but
Damn.
I didn't go professional till I was about 15 or 16.
Okay.
So it depends
Damn.
on where you want to start. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm 31 now, 31 and a half.
Okay.
So I've been around for quite some time,
Damn.
in Arizona. So
Okay. Are you born and raised?
I am. Yep. I'm actually born and raised in El Mirage, which is
Shit, way out
west. Yep. Well, west of here. So
there. Bro, when you were born then out there was probably fucking like nothing out there.
nothing.
What school did you go to out there? What high school? Or did you go somewhere else?
So I graduated from Valley Vista High School,
Okay,
and then
damn.
I went to a couple different elementary schools out there. But yeah, bro, growing up, our fun was going and swimming in the canals at the farms, and
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say this, but it was the funniest thing, watching my dad drink a couple beers and go, jack a watermelon out of the field or something just to be funny,
Yeah.
like there was nothing out there. There was, it was cool growing up. I now it's super busy, and I would say back then it was a perfect place to raise a family. Now it's a little bit busier. It's still a great place,
sure.
but the traffic is crazy.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
it's crazy out there.
Yeah, every time I go to Vegas and I drive through there, I'm like, damn. You mentioned your dad. I'm going off script, but are you still lucky enough to have both of your parents with
I
you?
am. Yep.
Man, that's
You know,
badass.
unfortunately, my dad actually got cancer 3 times.
Wow.
So we actually lost him just before COVID. And it was
Okay.
actually kind of crazy for those of you that know anything about cancer. I had no idea, you know, anything about cancer. And he had stage 4 cancer, and I thought maybe it was out of 10. So I didn't realize stage 4 was the worst.
Oh fuck.
And it got to a point where they pretty much told him, start figuring out, you know, your finances and everything else. You got, you know, the worst that you can have. And, you know, they actually, so they gave him 6 months at first, and then it went to 8, and then it ended up just going away. So
No way.
over the course of the years, yeah, he's still alive to this day.
No way.
And it's funny because he's been my best friend for as long as I can remember. And for anybody I went to high school with, I mean, he was my security when, you know, I was DJing in high school. So
Yeah.
all the house parties I did when I was younger, everything. I mean, he was right there. So everybody knows who my dad is.
Damn.
So
dude.
it's actually pretty funny when he was able to drink again after having cancer. And I probably shouldn't say this either, but we're gonna let the dirt out, I guess, huh? What he's known for is doing keg stands at parties when I was in high school.
Oh shit.
And you know, he wouldn't drink because he was obviously responsible for me, but everybody would egg him on to do a cake stand. And he did one for my 31st birthday party. It was the first time since he had cancer, so
No way.
everybody was cheering him on, and everybody, you know, kind of knew, you know, exactly what it was because of that, you know. So it was awesome, man.
You know what? I have never done one. Ceci, have you done a keg stand before? She got all scared. She's like, no. She's like, what?
Well,
Have you done a keg stand before? Yeah.
you got some at the restaurant, so we'd have to try it out.
True.
I got a tap at the house. We can make it happen.
Hey, let's make a video of that. Let's make
Yeah.
a video of that.
That'd be pretty cool.
You know,
That'd be
I
pretty
have
cool.
never done that shit. So
You know, I put on a little bit more weight, you know, over the years. So the only person that's been able to help me up, you know, to do a cake stand, which actually it's his birthday today. So for everybody that's live, happy birthday, Luque. One of the
Luque?
one of
Drummer?
the best drummers in
Hi,
Arizona.
Papi Rin. Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Luque. So I actually got a video somewhere.
It was his anniversary last week. He was supposed to go to the restaurant to eat with his wife.
Oh, yeah?
He sent me a message. I think they ended up going elsewhere, but yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's his
Feliz
birthday
cumpleaños, viejo.
tonight. So we'll probably be doing some cake stands tonight. We'll see. I'll send you some
Right,
video,
okay.
a tutorial on how to do it.
Tutorial.
But yeah, he's my cake stand companion. So
How long have you known Luca for? I mean,
Oh,
has it been
man.
just recently because of the whole music thing, or,
you-
or you guys go further back?
it's actually kind of crazy. So which I'm sure we'll touch on. You know, me meeting Victor from Blue Dreams here in a little bit. But I met Luca through Victor.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the funny thing is doing nightclubs over the years.
Mhm.
We call him the old man. There was an older man that we would work with, and at first I never knew his name, and you know, everybody just called him the old man. And I met him, at Club Silverado, I think,
Okay.
first,
Yeah.
and then he ended up going to La Malquerida, where I was DJing at for a while. And it was funny because I always had the greatest conversations with this guy. Come to find out, when I met Luca, that was Luca's dad.
Oh shit. Okay.
And the little boy that was helping him out, which he's not so little anymore, was
Fuck
Luca's
no.
brother. So so Luca's brother is also in the music industry.
Yeah, yeah.
So shout out Derek as well.
Okay.
But yeah, man,
That's cool.
I want to say it's got to be like 10 or 12 years now I've known
Damn.
Lucas, so in the family. So
That's cool,
yeah,
Yeah.
great family.
bro. That was a great start to this podcast, man. Like I don't know why I'm excited to talk to you. We said we're gonna start strong, so I just want to know real quick. Who's out there that hasn't paid you that owes you some jobs?
Oh
I'm just kidding.
man,
No, I'm just
don't
kidding.
even get me
No.
started with that. Don't even get me started with
Shit,
that.
you opened the fucking bottle, bro.
Yeah.
La verga.
Nah.
Se prendió el cerro.
You know what? Over the years,
I'm gonna get fired.
o-
Sorry,
o-
producción.
over the years, you know, I will say that I've done a pretty good job at making sure that doesn't happen.
Again.
But yeah, again, because back in the day when I was young, and you know, nobody ever taught me about business ethics or, you know, how to run a business or how to even start a business. So, you know, I never knew any of that stuff. So yeah, I've been burned a few times back in the day, and I will tell you that I've been burned more by family than anybody
Oh,
else.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's a big topic here, and just what you mentioned, that you do not know anything about this, and or no one to talk to maybe, and this is why, this is the main purpose. I look like a fucking borracho. I don't even drink. I don't even drink, bro. But
Yeah, he's doing it for me, guys. So hopefully, is my phone still buffering? Yeah. Do we still got the buffers? Oh
mira,
man.
el diablo, porque el pinche
Ooh.
diablo fue el que me invitó el trago. I'm gonna
Ooh.
go. with this one just to build some controversy. Un pendejo. Like, bro, fucking shit. El pendejo por hacerle caso al diablo aquí. Fucking damn it.
No, I appreciate you guys for having me.
And then we got El Corazón para la Ceci. Just because why not? And then we got Viva México para el venezolano más mexicano. Colombiano. Verga, la cagué. I'm gonna get super fired.
Oh, man.
Producción. Atraviésatela.
Yeah, he already dropped the microphone. We're already past that. Oh, that's all right.
No te atravieses, Cecilia.
To which one?
Sorry, guys. This is like getting out of control here.
To which one?
I feel like we went from going like super like formal in our podcast,
Yeah.
and now we're just like aquí siéntate, amiga. ¿Te quieres ya?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
For reals, come sit down.
People like casualness.
Okay.
You know what, though? I will say that with me, it gets off topic really quickly. So I don't know if you could figure that out.
I'm not even following my script no more.
Yeah.
But salud, Eli.
Salud, bro. Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Andrea, Cecilia, thank you for being here. ¿Qué?
I can't give it to him.
Oh.
I have to get across again. I'm waiting for his phone.
Dale.
Oh, which one is it?
Neta, bueno.
Yeah, that one cleared my sinuses. It was good.
No, bro. But anyways, as I was saying here again, this is why I like having these chats so that we can learn. I mean, we're still always learning, you know. Like
You're exactly right.
Every day we're learning. There's a lot that I want to learn from people, from friends, from business owners. But let me maybe I do want to jump back a little bit into the script.
And actually, really quick before
Yeah,
you
go for
get
it.
back on the script, there is something that that you said that was a golden piece, and it's a big part of business. We're always learning. I don't care what anybody says as far as DJs, musicos, you name it. There's no such thing as perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've actually had to let a couple DJs go. Even this year, just because you were always learning. You know what I mean? And if you're not willing to learn and adapt, which I'm sure we'll get more into that here in a little bit. It's one of those things. How are we going to grow together? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, for sure.
So you are right on the money with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, so I know for those that don't know, but can you, I guess, maybe explain to us a little bit what is DJE Entertainment? So
Yeah.
because I mean that's what your business is. So talk to us a little bit, because from the 2 years that I think it was about 2, or like it's actually going to be 3 years. When we
It's going
first
to be
met.
3 years.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be 3 years, but you just mentioned to me something that kind of blew my mind a little bit, because I remember you did not have as many people under your belt.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty astonishing. So again, congrats, and
Thank you very much.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
So I've switched gears quite a bit, and I will say that it was hard doing so. It's definitely a little bit different than I think that anybody else is doing out there. I don't know too much if anybody's geared their business strategy this way. But now I don't have employees anymore. So the way that I've strategized everything is, and I learned this a little bit more from municipality, from a lot of my brothers and even my dad. They work in the city.
Okay.
All the DJs that I use are actually contracted out.
Nice.
Sound engineers contracted out. Everybody's contracted out. And what I've learned over the past, and this might be, everybody's got their own way of doing certain things, but when DJE first started out, of course, it was just myself and my pops. Once I got a little bit, more into the business ethic of things, I started, hiring DJs. And, one thing you'll figure out is, one man, of course, can't take care of, a whole crew of people, and you get your stragglers that start running wild here and there. You know what I mean? And every single time something would happen, that would be under the DJE name.
Oh, fuck.
So
Yeah.
every time something bad would happen,
Shit.
I mean, there's been things that have happened that I'm just like, how does it amount to that, right?
Yeah.
So over the years, I've changed gears of putting a crew of DJs together, and right now we're up to 27 men. And out of those 27 men, a good portion of them, of course, are DJs. You have your licensed officiants. You have your sound engineers, light engineers, and basically, I'm a one-stop shop. So, and it's crazy because Victor from Blue Dreams, he actually put me on to this idea because he does a very similar thing. It's different, but it's very similar. And now everybody's accountable for themselves. So if they're making themselves look bad, it's themselves look bad. But the cool thing is I'm still making money because I'm still grabbing these contracts. And even if it's not me, you know, in person, a lot of these venues and different places, you know, they just want a body, but they want a body that's going to do a good job.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So if I can provide all their wants and needs and you know, at a great rate and, you know, longevity, that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah, and I think it's super important that you are trying to protect your brand, your name, you know, your the face, you know, because like you said, I mean, because I know it's a registered business, and if something bad goes wrong, then it's not just like your name, your face, but yourself, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like you get jeopardized, you know.
Yep.
But that's cool, man, that you have grown so much and have pivoted again and done that business plan, you know, change.
Yeah.
So that's cool, because just like you said earlier, you know, we always have to be looking for ways to adjust and change based on the needs or as the experiences.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's cool.
And the cool thing is what that's led to, which I always tell the guys, my goal is to get you as many events and gigs as possible to where you're so busy that you can't get gigs from me anymore.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
you know
That's cool.
you're building your own business.
So you're allowing them to
And
kind of structure their own
yes.
thing.
And I will say that you know, shout out to a lot of the DJs out there that work with me. A lot of DJs have branched off and have started to do what I'm doing, but in their own way.
Nice.
And the cool thing is, because I'm basically based out of the West Valley and I'm starting to, you know, get into different states, it takes a little bit more weight off my shoulders as well to be able to trust these guys, you know, to do the job. And I hear the great feedback from it. So it's awesome. So there's a lot of younger businessmen coming out of just, you know, my business, and it's cool to see that.
Cool. Is Trinard still around?
Oh man, no, he's
No?
not around anymore.
Not around with you, or just not around?
He's around. He's out there.
Okay.
I mean, shout out to Trinard. Me and him had some disagreements.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know if you want me to touch on it or not.
Go for it, Doc. I'm just asking because he's one of your guys that obviously when you weren't able to go out and do a job for me, you would send Trinard.
Yeah.
And then and he did several of them for me whenever you couldn't.
So-
and so I mean, we follow each other on social media, I believe, and I just wasn't sure if he's
So
still.
Trinard's a great guy.
Okay.
You know, he's a great guy. But he was a little older than me. If I'm not mistaken, he's about 15, 16 years older than me.
Damn.
And yeah. No, he looks
Oh,
good, man.
shit. Okay.
He takes care of himself.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things that he wanted to do his own thing, and it was completely opposite of what my expectations are
Yeah.
to take care of clients. And it got to a point to where, you know, just like if you're in a relationship with a significant other, it gets to a point to where you can only argue and fight so much to where, you know what, hey, maybe this isn't working out. So unfortunately, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, you know, we decided to go our separate ways. As far as I know, he's still out there. Of course, you know, we're in two different platforms anyways. You know, he's doing more of English music. I'm kind of taking over a little bit of everything. But yeah, no, shout out to Trinard. He's still out there around somewhere. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but you know, if he sees it, shout out to Trinard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, for sure. Real quick, because you keep mentioning, but what's your dad's name?
My dad's name, they call him Beto, but he has the
Beto.
same name as me.
Okay.
No telling how he received that name back in the day, but you know, it's funny because when me and my dad hang out, you know, I find out more interesting things about him, believe it or not.
That's cool, man. I do want to send a shout out to him, you know, and it's great that you speak so highly of him, and it's so awesome that you still have him around, and
Oh yeah,
and that he was such an impact to you, you know, in
Of
what
course.
you've been able to create up until this date. So that's cool.
yeah, and I will say, you know, for any dads out there that, you know, believe that your sons are getting into fads or fades or whatever the case may be, my dad thought the exact same thing. Believe it or not, he actually was not supportive whatsoever of me becoming a DJ at first.
Okay.
And once he saw that I had the drive and the hustle for it, that's when, you know, he was a hard ass, so he never bought me anything. But you know, he definitely showed me the way on how to make some money to do it. So
Cool. So just really quick, because again, I do want to touch that, because you said that you probably showed some interest starting at an early age of 9. you kind of started, I guess, doing gigs and stuff at 15 when you were what, like a freshman in high school or something. But like,
Yeah.
but how did you start? Like, I mean, did you use a laptop or did you, or how? If your dad didn't really support you, I guess, did you find your own way to hustle some money to buy
Yeah.
your first equipment? Do you remember what you first bought or how you first started?
I do, and it's actually really funny because I'm going to mention a couple names in here that's funny because a lot of these people are still with me to date.
Nice.
But shout out to Jackie. Jackie's out there in Waddell area, Surprise area.
Okay.
Her family actually hired me for my first event.
Oh shit.
When my first paid event.
Okay.
And her dad actually just passed away, so sorry for that. My condolences, but.
Do you remember how much? Do you remember how much they paid you that time?
Oh, bro, it's funny because when I look back, sometimes I find my old contracts and it's like $50 for like 6 hours, or you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, but at the time I'm like, man, I'm making some money. You know what I mean? But things were a lot simpler and cheaper back in the days.
Sure.
But yeah, so going to starting out, it's actually really funny. Shout out to one of my DJs, DJ Gemini. He actually, me and him exchanged some music yesterday. So I was telling him that I actually have clones of hard drives. So and the hard drives with the music.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I actually have 5 of them and 5 different locations. So if one gets stolen or something, I know where I can find another one. The reason why, as long as I can remember, as long as I was able to go to the store and grab stuff, I've always gotten CDs and tapes. And believe it or not, a lot of the music that I have on my hard drive is originals. From ripping them off of CDs, tapes, records.
Oh shit! That's cool.
I have original records at the house that I used to DJ with on turntables.
Wow.
And that's actually how I started out. I started out on record players.
Okay.
And for the DJs out there that know anything about record players, there's belt driven and direct drive.
Okay.
Basically, what that is, direct drive is it spins on its own, electronically. Belt driven, it needs a belt. And you're not supposed to scratch on those, but those are the cheaper ones.
Oh,
I was always busting belts, and my parents, it would piss them off so much when I first started out because it was their record players and I was breaking their belts. But that's how I started out, and then eventually I started, doing stuff around the neighborhood, mowing lawns, washing cars, earning a little bit of money. And when around that time when I first started, that's when DVD players had just came out.
Okay.
You remember DVD players?
Yeah.
And they look sick.
Yeah.
They look like futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple DVD players, and I ended up putting some car speakers together from Goodwill, and made my first DJ setup that way.
Damn.
And I used that setup, of course, with a lot of Band-Aids for about a year, and then after that year, I was finally able to purchase an actual console.
Okay.
And so I went from records to CDs, and then CDs to laptops, and we're still using laptops to this day. So
Nice, cool. That's badass, man. Did I guess do you use do you have multiple decks that you use, or is it kind of like right now do you have just one that you always use?
yeah, so I have a favorite.
Okay.
I actually still have the original record players that I first bought when I was younger, so those don't leave the house. And then I have multiple consoles that I have that are in the fleet for DJE. So that's what's cool is if the guys, if let's say they have an issue with one of their pieces of equipment, or if let's say they're doing multiple gigs, because there's sometimes, man, where we have multiple gigs in a day and we have a crew setting up and tearing down for us as we're going to gigs.
Yeah.
We have enough equipment at the house to survive multiple events in a day. And I think right now the most I've done in one day, as far as been a part of, as far as strategizing, is 13 events in one day.
God damn.
And that's consists
13?
of
Holy
yeah,
shit.
it was a rough day, and it was actually a day in November of it was just when everything opened up from COVID.
Okay.
And everybody just snapped, started having weddings, quinceañeras, birthday parties. It was nicer outside, so then people started coming out to the clubs, and it was a wild day. But the cool thing is that it's stressful, but we have enough manpower to be able to sustain that.
Cool. And not just the manpower, man, but the manpower shit, all you need is the bodies for that. But
Yeah.
the fucking brain to fucking be able to maneuver and plan all those things, and the mental strength that you probably are able to control and manage to be able to successfully get through that day, that's badass. And
Yeah.
and I think that's what separates you from everyone else, that that isn't, you know, like in the same realm as what you are doing. So that's badass for you, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. No, thank you. I'm definitely trying to do something different, and at the same time, not think or trying not to think of myself or being selfish by doing it. I want everybody to succeed as part of the team. You know.
Hell yeah. That's what it has to be, you know, because again, you have a lot of people that help you, and that's what, at the end of the day, we all want for everyone to succeed. You know, we want everyone to be just as successful. You know, so that's badass that, like you said, you have allowed other people to grow, you know, and learn from you, and then if they have the chance, then, you know, then move on and do their own thing.
Exactly.
Question: do you have or what's, again, going back to like the business talk, if there is something, like, what's your biggest financial risk if you have done one, and did it pay off? Like, was there something that maybe you had to rent this huge equipment, and did it maybe not pay off, or did it successfully pay off, or have you had a situation like that?
I have, and I'm pretty sure you could probably relate to this. The biggest risks that I think are putting together an event where you're using, you know, things like door sales to pay all your entertainment or your staff members, or, you know, using a specific type of content to be able to pay everybody. And, you know, over the years, I've kind of gotten away from that just because, you know, I'm super busy to be able to promote. You know, a lot of people forget DJs aren't promoters. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, everybody's got a following, and DJs have a great following to be able to bring in people. But especially people that, you know, have a lot of different venues, and, you know, as many men as I have, you know, within the organization to be able to help, you know, I don't have time to promote. You know, so with that being said, it's a huge risk to try to take to, you know, get door sales. So unfortunately, I don't do that anymore. But, you
It's
know,
risky.
for somebody that owns a venue, you know, I'm sure you know, it's you either, you know, make it or you break it. And it depends on, you know, your promotion and all the entertainment you bring. And, you know, I will say, I'm not going to say who it was because you had them as well. But there was an older group that came into town that I had a chance to, you know, help out at a local bar. And
Bro, don't be talking about the cadetes, bro.
Man, so now I'm not going to say what I'm going to say.
we're not going to be talking bad about it.
Nah. You know, I appreciate them, and I love the Los Cadetes. I grew up on them, but, you know, I will say that I was a little disappointed because every once in a while you get grupos that, you know, that they're, as we said about DJs, they're just bodies.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it was one of those things. I will say that they were one of the groups this year out of 5 that just plugged in.
Okay.
And didn't give a shit how they sounded and just started playing.
Oh, really?
Dude, it was and they sounded like shit for the first 10 songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you know.
You know, that's stressful, bro. So are you not gonna work with them when they're gonna, I think they're gonna come in a few weeks to La Malquerida again.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's working with them, but shout out to Edgar from La Malquerida. I'm, you know, not to put anybody down. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. I should have waited. I should have waited. But
nah, bro, it's cool. It is what it is, bro. It's all a learning.
They bring in a lot of people,
bro. What's because people have to understand this, and the thing is that it's stressful, bro, for business owners or people that know and care. You know, if it's a fucking with con todo respeto, you know, a client that's gonna go and just get drunk and dance and shit. Most people don't really care. There are a few that do get all like on their like mamoncito side, and they do get pissed off because it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
But the last time that they came with me, I believe, if I'm not correct, I was the one that threw all the cables. Like I had my partner help me out with some of the audio stuff. But I think that day our audio engineer was not gonna go or didn't go. So same thing. So I had a few grupos before Cadetes that opened up, and I was struggling, bro, because I know how to like move that shit a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not the same thing, bro. Like that's why
if you don't do it every day or often, it's not. It's one of those things because the thing is, every venue or most venues have separate, you know, mixers. Not everybody has the same equipment. You know what I mean? And with that day, I don't know what the hell happened. And shout out to everybody that, you know, all the promoters. Johnny, shout out to Johnny. Johnny helped out with that one.
Johnny.
Yeah, shout out to all the promoters that helped out with that. But it was just crazy, bro, because I think I may be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but we had like 1 or 2 grupos that were supposed to come up before them, and they wanted all that money from the door, so they canceled them. So I played like 4.5 hours straight.
No way.
So I'm tired as hell. I just played 4.5 hours straight.
Fuck.
The crowd's already tired of me. Everybody's all fucked up and complaining.
Yeah, because they
And
wanted entertainment.
They
something-
wanted cadetes. So I think they played, bro, I think they played like 45 minutes, and they were out.
Oh,
And they were out.
what? Okay, shit.
Yeah, they were out. So
Bro, I almost want to think if that was the same day that they played with me. Because I think they played 2.
I think ours was a Saturday.
What? Well, they did 2 gigs.
Then it was the same
And
day
so-
they played with you.
no, they-
God damn it,
no.
it's your fault.
Fuck, it's my fault. Shit, I just made it worse.
Yeah, hey, Johnny, fuck this guy. No, I'm just
Fuck.
kidding.
No, I fucking love Johnny, man.
Don't work with this guy no more,
okay,
Johnny.
no, Johnny's cool as fuck, man.
Yeah, he is, bro. He is.
Johnny's fucking chill. We've been working together, even on events that are not his or his artists. Like he's also always been offering to help me
Yeah,
promote.
Johnny knows a lot of people, bro.
Yeah, he does. You know, when we brought Luis Coronel, he that wasn't his gig, but he helped me out promote it. He even helped us out find Luis another gig up in Prescott with the people that he knows up there on Sunday.
Nice.
So we even made Luis more money. We're like, hey man,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be fucking here,
And that's
like,
cool.
Like might as well fucking like make it your time's worth, you know?
Because when you show people you care about them like that, to like, hey, you know what? Since you're here, let me, can I help you with this or that? It's actually really funny. I don't know if you listen to Old School, but if you have ever heard of the band War.
Yeah.
So I've had a really good relationship with the drummer over the years doing the Lowrider car shows.
Okay.
And every time he comes to Phoenix, he hits me up, man. And,
Yeah.
Even if it's just not to DJ, like, hey, I got a show coming. How many tickets you need?
Nice.
I'll put you behind the stage in the VIP and you come see me drum. And, building those relationships, it's what we do this for. Yeah, we do this for the money, bro, but the networking, and that's another thing that I'm going to touch on. I don't know if you want me to touch on it now, but
Do it.
the thing is, the networking is the bread and butter of this whole industry, bro.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that, regardless whether I'm working at a venue or not, whenever I have a night off, as much as I'd like to tell you that, I hang out with my family and, don't do nothing, I actually go bar hopping. I listen to music. I listen to other DJs. I listen to grupos. I look to see how the motion of the staff is, and I look to see, is there something different that I don't know that's going on right now that I should know, or you know what I mean, something different. I'm sure you see that. I ride my Harley every once in a while with the guys, and shout out to Viejitos for Hire. That's the crew that I ride with. We'll go bar hopping, listen to music, man, and that's one of the biggest things is networking is like it's the bread and butter, bro. Yeah. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, recently myself, I've been also telling myself that I have to do that more. And that's why I'm here, that's why I want to have these chats with you. And same thing, my few days off that I have, I do the same thing, bro. I go to some bars, I sit down, maybe do some work on my laptop, but I'm always observing, trying to, get some ideas or, again, keep on learning,
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, though, I do want to go back to the fucking cadetes shit real quick.
Oh, man.
No.
I try to bypass that shit.
Hell yeah, you did. No, actually, now that you mentioned it, because I had no clue, but in their defense, I think, I believe, fuck, how the fuck did it happen?
Dude, the batteries were dying on their wireless, and it was rough, man.
Yeah?
It was rough, yeah. That was one of the roughest ones I've done in a while.
Shit, well, I gotta ask Johnny, but so I believe they were with me. Actually, no, it's not gonna be my fault. Fuck that. No, it's not my fault. Okay, woof. Thank you. It's not my fault. They were with me Friday night. Okay.
Yeah, I know they were with you Friday night.
Okay, so they were with me Friday night.
Uh-huh.
After they finished with me, and thankfully with us it went great. Right when they started, our friend Daniel, also he's one of the sound engineers. He got there like in the first or second song. That fool fucking saved my life.
Yeah.
Because it was sounding kind of shitty out there. Like I had a fucking monitor here, and it was sounding good for me, but I didn't have a chance to run out there yet. But I guess when they walked in,
it sounded different for the crowd.
Yeah, so like in Chingal se puso, he fucking like reguló and he like fixed it, so he saved my life there.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were with me Friday. Then that same night or Saturday morning, they actually drove to LA, bro, because they had a festival.
Oh wow.
So they fucking drove right after our concert. They drove to LA because they had a festival in LA. And after the festival, they came back that Saturday to
bro,
Phoenix for that gig. So because Johnny had sent me a message that they were hungry and that they wanted some food.
Yeah.
So I was gonna hook them up with some badass food, and I was like, all right, like, come eat before you guys have to go to Malquerida. And Johnny told me he was like, hey, pull through. And I wanted to pull through. Now I'm starting to remember I wanted to go because you were gonna be there, and I didn't have a gig I think on that Saturday. So like fuck, I was like, all right, let me take advantage. I'm going to say hi to Eli. I'll go say hi to Johnny again and to the guys,
just hang out.
Yeah. And at the end they got to the hotel late. They were fucking tired. They had played with us the previous night. Fucking drove to LA, played there, drove back. So they got to the hotel and they wanted to chill for a little bit. So I think they got there late with Malquerida or something, or some shit happened.
Barbarroja is where it was at.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah. And so then you're right, Barbarroja actually. And so then actually since they didn't go to eat with me, I told Johnny like, hey, Los señores no vinieron. They didn't come. If you want them, have them come Sunday morning, like the next day.
Yeah.
And I'll still hook them up with some food, because again, networking and me
course,
trying to like build that rapport, And so on Sunday when they did go eat. On Sunday they did go
That's
eat,
badass.
Before they actually drove back home. Back to fucking Cali again.
Yeah.
They did go eat, and we had a chance to talk. And so I guess they had actually worked something out. I'm not sure if with the owner or someone over at Barbarroja that they're gonna have something that Sunday morning. So to like kind of make it up to them.
Gotcha.
They were gonna go play also that Sunday.
Yeah.
Bro, they were still like in their pajamas and shit.
So they were just busy that weekend.
Yeah, they were, bro.
But it's funny because
stop talking shit.
No. But growing up and watching the movies and hanging out with my dad and even to this day, I mean, well, not since then because I haven't hung out with my dad like that since then. But we get fucked up, have the movie in the background, and all the songs come on, and then to see them. All of them jump out of that little transit van and then run to the stage and
like not giving a fuck.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, man, my whole childhood's fucked up now.
Bro, that's what they say. Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Fuck.
That's exactly because I remember, and again, I'm not talking shit at Johnny. I love Johnny so much, and shout out to Johnny if you're watching this. But it was just so funny because
and exclusiva, Eli's talking shit about Johnny.
I'm not. But it was just funny, bro, because Johnny goes, "Here they come, right there,"
and you're like.
This little ass transit van, bro, and then they all jump out like like it's a fucking clown car, and I'm like, oh my, where are their instruments? And then they're all stuffed in the back. They take them out, they run on the stage, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So, so that's my cadete story.
Shit, man.
So we're laughing, so I guess it wasn't that bad, but
you still got tequila there or no?
Nah, I'm out.
You need some more?
Oh, I thought we were taking the whole thing.
Oh shit! Here, let me get situated here before I don't
drop
this shit again.
I don't even know how many streamers do we have right now. Are we doing pretty good? Maybe a couple.
Let me jump back here real quick. I want you to maybe we can jump in there now also, but obviously I have already heard you talk very well about your dad. I want you to talk to me about someone else that has helped you again mold yourself, helped you grow in your business and overall. And I'm not sure if this is the only person or one person that you can refer to.
Yeah.
But I want you to talk to me a little bit about who is Victor. So who is Victor? What is he to you in your life, in your business life? I'm kind of curious about that because I don't have the fortune of knowing him. I have heard great things about you and other people in the industry. I actually shot him a DM. Well, actually, when you told me that if they wanted to do the video fest at my place, I think I even reached out. I don't think he saw the message, but
Victor's
I'm still
a
hoping.
busy guy.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No. He's a busy guy. He's been calling me on all my phones so far. That's why my phones are going off. Yeah. So
Victor, cálmate. No, yeah, but I'm curious to know about who Victor is to you. What impact has he done or has he been to you in your professional or personal life?
Yeah. So when I met Victor, I was married at the time.
Okay.
And
how long ago was this?
Oh man, this was quite some time ago. This was probably like 2016, maybe 17.
Okay.
And I might be off on time. I'd have to see because the video that we were on shoot for at the same time came out that year.
Cool.
Oh man, I don't remember what grupo we were working with, but it was my introduction to doing light engineering.
Okay. And then he was producing the audio and the video.
He was doing the video.
Okay.
So it was actually a playback. So the audio was already completed. He
Okay.
was doing the video. And, you know, I showed up with what I thought was the baddest fucking DJE shirt that I had. And, you know, there's another guy named Will that works for Blue Dreams Media that, shout out to Will. He goes, hey, you know, with a blunt in his hand, who made that for you? And I said, well, you know, my tia made it for me, you know, all proud. And you know, it was a cool shirt. And he goes, well, I know somebody that can make it better. And at that time, me and Victor were crossing paths because we were obviously on the same set. But we hadn't actually talked to each other. And we talked, we did some business, and believe it or not, you know, I know you asked if he's the only one or you know, somebody other than my dad that has helped me. You know, before then, we've been helping each other. And I will say that part of what I'm doing now, I don't personally believe I would be doing if it wasn't for seeing how Victor moves and taking Victor's advice on different things, because I will tell you that, you know, Victor's behind the scenes a lot. You know, you don't see him in a lot of videos. You don't see him, you know, unless somebody's posting them, you know. But he knows his shit, man, and he's one of the best business entrepreneurs that I think I've ever met, for sure.
Wow. That's
for sure. And to this day, hopefully Victor's watching, because he's calling me right now. You know, he's definitely. I personally don't believe that I would be where I'm at if it wasn't for me meeting Victor.
Wow, that's badass.
So hopefully he knows that.
Hell yeah. No, and again, and that's why I wanted to ask the question, because, and again, you and I haven't talked about him or about this, but
of course,
just based on the little that you and I have spoken and the stuff that I see again that you post or on social media, like I can tell that he's someone, you know, important to you or for you in your life. So,
yeah, definitely.
I didn't know that you guys went more back then. I thought it was more like a recent thing.
Yeah, and
cool, man.
And it's actually crazy because I'm a firm believer of, you know, if you have somebody working for you, you know, like for example, and I'll throw this out because this was an issue that I recently had. You know, when you have somebody working with you or for you or however you want to put it, I've always been told from the beginning, don't ever mix business with pleasure. You know, in other words, you can't be best friends with a guy that's working for you, or, you know, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And he's the only guy that I will tell you that I've been able to have a really good personal relationship with. He's one of my best friends. And, you know, but when it's time to work, we put in the work. So it works out, man.
You guys know where and when to draw the line.
Yeah.
Quick question, talking a little bit about that, if you want to mention it or not, but you did mention that this was before or when you were married.
Yeah.
I assume you're not married now.
I am not.
I have a question if you want to ask it or not. If not, then you're fucked, because we can edit this out, I guess.
No, it's all good.
No,
it's
but
all good.
I'm just curious to know if I don't have to know all the details, but are you not married because of a reason related to your business and how busy you always were, or was it something different?
Yes and no.
And I'm just asking because it has seemed that it's been, I don't know, either more common to hear from different entrepreneurs or business owners that either their divorce or them splitting up with their significant other was because the significant other couldn't handle
that's exactly what it is. That's
being
exactly
away
what it is.
so much or the lack of attention. But then again, I've met other people that have found a person that they actually have grown together.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, fuck. I'm like, well, was it the wrong person? Was it the wrong time? Was it that the other person was not, I don't know, just not down enough to fucking keep supporting you or be patient enough or I mean, is that something you want to mention?
Yeah, no, we could definitely talk about it. You know, I will say that a lot of people get the assumption that they met me this way, they're going to accept me this way. And I truly believe that is the most negative way of thinking, because that's the way that I used to think. Oh, she met me when I was a DJ. We got married when I was a DJ. We had kids when I was a DJ. We're going to stay together forever, right?
Okay.
That's not how it works, man. So basically, I was... You know, and not to brag, I was on track to make my first $2 million by the time I was 30.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, obviously for a 30-year-old, that's like, it's fucking mind-blowing, bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, I told her, hey, this year, which that was, what, almost 3 years ago when I was projecting this, I told her, hey, you know, this year and next year, they're going to be some pretty fucking rough years. Yeah. I'm not going to be home. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to be doing things I don't normally do. There was times where I'd work till 4 or 5 in the morning, go home, shower, sleep, wake up at 7 or 8 and go at it again the next day, and it was 5, 6, sometimes even 7 days a week, and when we sat down and had that conversation, everything was agreed upon, and the one thing that was told was, if you can't handle this at any point, you need to speak up, you need to say something, because it only goes so far until when somebody gives up, right? Well, we didn't make it before I turned 30. So because of the divorce and, having to pay for, selling the houses that we had and all the assets that we had. And, she tried to dismantle the business, which that's another thing too. When you get divorced, bro, you got to understand, like, that person knows where all the bodies are buried. You know what I mean? So if they're not in their right mind of looking out for you, if they're the opposite, they will take everything from you, or at least try to. So it set me back. I will say that I'm back on track. I projected in the next 3 years I'll be where I should have been by the time I was 30 if I had not gotten divorced. But, it's trial and error. I wouldn't trade it for anything, because I got married when I was 18, bro. So I got married young.
Yeah. Okay.
I had my oldest daughter when I was 19.
Wow.
So, I mean, I started out early,
Okay.
but now that was a journey that it taught me a lot over the course of the years. And a lot of the mistakes that I made in the past, just from being young and not knowing, it won't happen again. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Again, this is a business question, also a relationship question. Again, just like you said, so that people out there, that are watching, there's people that I know that either have food trucks or have a restaurant or are trying to start opening a restaurant. Now but if you would find another significant other, or let's just say hypothetically speaking, would you consider, I guess, like maybe telling your significant other, hey, if you want to be together, you might have to sign this prenup, and it's just because, like, only for the sole purpose so that there's no issues, if we're together, we're gonna be together. I got your back, from now until death does us apart or whatever. But if shit goes down the hole, then you gotta understand, that I'm trying now to protect, my, I don't know, what is it, your legacy or your future,
And this is gonna sound a little crazy, but I grew up with both my parents, so my parents are still together to this day.
Nice.
And the way that I was always taught, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with this, because me and Victor have even had this conversation before, and he tells me I'm fucking crazy. But the way that I think about things, if I'm in a not necessarily a relationship, let's say we're a year down the road, 2 years down the road, right? At that point, we're together. If we were to get married, whatever's mine is yours, and vice versa. That's the way that I've been taught. I know a lot of people that have their own houses, their own bank accounts, their own cars, and it never crosses that path. But prenup or not, you get a divorce, it fucks your life up, bro. Like it's a big negative stamp on your life, and it's one of those things that you find the ride or die, or you don't, kind of thing. And I think that's why nowadays, and maybe you can agree or disagree with me, not a lot of people cherish marriage or those kind of things as they once did. I mean, I think 2020 was like the biggest divorce rate of like ever. Like COVID was the biggest divorce rate, bro. Like everybody got tired of each other,
Well, because all the músicos, everywhere, like all the músicos were never home. It was, and I hear a lot of podcasts, from different grupos, and it's funny because that's when they talk that literally that's when they, during that time, that's when they actually got to know who the fuck their daughters and sons were, because they knew they had sons and daughters, but they didn't know who they were.
Well, and the problem is, as we get older, and you, me, everybody, we grow up, and when we grow up, we may not have the same thought mentality as we did, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever the case may be. So it was one of those things that, once we, for example, using my relationship as an example, once we started talking things over, I'm like, where the fuck did you get like this shit from? You know what I mean? like this isn't who I, got with. And, and that's one thing that you realize, and maybe that's what happened. You realize, oh, fuck, this is who this person really is, So, but.
Yeah, again, to be honest, it's something that has to be laid out. And I think that you attempted to do the right thing. Again, I don't know all the details, but again, for anyone else out there, it's crucial that if you have something that an idea that they're trying to start, a journey that you're trying to start like this, with a business, you have to be able to be on the same page with your partner, with your family.
Yeah.
Because another thing that you and I were talking about is that I always want to go visit you, bro. Again, because of the connection that I think I have with you. Because you're cool as fuck, I want to go support you. Again, I want to go network.
Yeah, of course.
And I know that you've told me that's vice versa, but we never can because we are always working on the same.
We're in the
days,
same industry,
So we're in the same
like,
industry.
yeah.
So again, based on that, people that are in a similar industry already know, but every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for sure, maybe even some Thursdays, you are always working at
There's
other people's
something going
parties,
on, yeah.
So then it can be a client's birthday, wedding, whatever it could be, while at the same time you're missing out on your own family's birthday parties
Yeah.
or whatever,
No, that's absolutely right. And that's why I try to balance. And then now during the week, I'm starting to travel, out of state to go make opportunities for myself. So
Nice.
it's getting to a point. But, the cool thing is, I will say, and this is probably going to sound really selfish, but after the divorce, it was kind of like a light switch for me to, you know what, you already, in a sense, you kind of lost everything already. You know what I mean? Might as well go out and try your best to, fuck it up. And ever since then, I can honestly say that after I got divorced, that was a burden on my shoulder that was holding me back at one point, just because, you want to try to keep the peace in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
But now that there was no peace to be kept, all there was is making money and taking care of my kids and taking care of my business.
Okay.
That's when the business skyrocketed, man. And, I'm like I said, it was bad, but it was a blessing in disguise too, because I think that's when I hit peak, when all that happened, and I was able to transfer a lot more of my time, to the business. So
Yeah, because like you said, because you're maybe like you're holding back a little bit because you're trying, like you said, to maintain the peace over here.
yeah,
Trying not to let let shit hit the fan, for fear or to not put yourself or your spouse at that moment, like through the whole mess, your
of course.
your daughter. But like you said, I guess you guys went through it,
But I will say they don't complain when the money comes in. For everybody watching, they don't complain when the money comes in.
Next question. Yeah, bros. And again, and that's why I was asking about that prenup too, because again, it's conversation that I've like talked to the people, because again, like it's known, that stuff like this happens and it sucks, But I have another question to you or for you real quick here.
Of course.
I mean, this is kind of related also, and this can be either personal wise or business wise, but is there any other like mistake that you wish that you could have avoided that obviously now
Yeah.
but again, like maybe is there some fucking like expensive ass fucking like gear that you bought that was shit, or maybe you invested money somewhere that didn't give you the return that you ended up losing?
Mess with this certain promoter ever again. But it's actually really funny. I used to believe in three different brands of equipment. And one of the equipment that I absolutely loved up until I played for the Cinco de Mayo at your guys' spot at La Casa de las Flores.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some dirt right now. So I loved Yamaha, bro. Yamaha mixers were like the shit for me. They always did good. And, of course, there's other mixers out there that I like, but the analog mixers specifically, the ones that, that have all the knobs on them, they don't have the buttons. Or the screen, I mean, where, everything's touchscreen. They've always sounded the best for me for DJing. The microphone sounded good. The just everything overall sounded great. Well, I bought a brand new Yamaha for Cinco de Mayo because I'm like, man, I need to get a couple more channels, for the grupo that we're going to have, and we're going to make it sound badass. So I think at the time, Daniel, and I might be wrong on this, but Daniel had brought a DJ or somebody in that I think rewired the speakers or something. So we thought there might have been like some speakers that, weren't working right. Well, we were getting nasty ass distortion out of, like most of the channels on this thing. And I'm like, man, it's got to be the speakers. This fucking mixer's brand new. And it turns out the fucking mixer was bad.
Oh shit.
So the whole time we were playing for Cinco de Mayo, the mixer was like not doing its job, bro.
Oh, so it wasn't just that we had a complete fuck up
No.
up there? Okay.
No, the fuck up was a good fuck up, I think,
Oh,
because the
shit.
mixer.
I was getting
So-
worried. I was like, fuck.
So it sucks because now I test stuff before, even if it's out of the box, I test it.
Nice.
The cool thing is everything that we have is top of the line equipment. So, but even though it's top of line equipment, we still maintenance it and do everything. But as far as any issues, bro, like I treat them all as learning experiences, and it's either one of those things that I learn from it and figure out how to finesse it. Because if I do it again, that's shame on me. You know what I mean? So
Cool. Our restaurant business requires us to daily and weekly drain out investment, like money for our product,
yeah,
So the restaurant business is tough because again, every day or every week we have to be investing so much money into all the product,
and
all
it's
the
much
alcohol.
respect, man.
So for all that, does your business require like a regular expense like that, like either like on some subscriptions? I don't know if you guys use something specific that is costly.
That's actually a great question, because this is one thing a lot of people don't realize. So because of how much open format I am, I go from country to banda to rock en español to hip hop to whatever. You can't usually find all of that music on one platform. So I don't know. I got probably over 20 subscriptions to pools, and they range from $15 to $30 a month each.
Damn.
I have subscriptions to constantly make sure that my inventory on all my fluids, because that's another thing a lot of people don't realize. When we're using these haze machines and fog machines, we're using a gallon, maybe 2 gallons a night.
That's true.
And that ain't cheap, $30-$40 a gallon. I'm sure right?
Yeah, for sure.
Lights get damaged, so I always keep an inventory of parts for lights.
Extension cords.
Extension cord. I mean, wear and tear on things. You always want to make sure that it's good to go, and that's going back to testing the equipment and making sure that it's right. I pick a day out of the week. It's usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays if I'm not traveling, and I'll go through all the stuff that I know I need to use for the weekends.
That's badass.
And
Being proactive on that.
Yeah, and it's cool because in my garage where I have I would say the stuff that's used the most. I keep everything else in a storage unit. But the stuff that I know that me and the guys are going to be using for the weekend, because that's another thing. There's a lot of specialty items that I have to maintain that maybe the other guys don't have. So everything's labeled. It's all on the shelf. And yeah, I mean, I would honestly say that I think last year when I did my taxes, it was a little bit over $17,000 worth of monthly reoccurring fees that I was using for the year. And it's funny because people think we just show up with a laptop and some equipment. And,
right, yeah, exactly.
It's not that simple.
It's not.
It's actually funny because, once again, shout out to Luque. Dude, there's some DJs out there that, and I'm sorry to say, but they're just pieces of shit. Like, and what I mean by that is it has nothing to do with, how you DJ, or it's your attitude.
Yeah.
If you're a piece of shit, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, complaining about everything and, downing people. So, there was a video. I wasn't there personally, but and I don't know the whole story, but I called Luca yesterday to talk to him about it, and he was sound checking his drum set, and I guess the DJ had gotten really pissed off that why do musicos do this, and talking all kinds of crap, and it's just one of those things. There are some DJs out there that they do just press play, and that's what Lucas said. This guy wasn't even DJing.
Yeah.
He's like, he don't even have the same skill set you do. All he was doing was pressing play and, standing
That's
there.
kind of pathetic.
You know what I mean? But, to each their own. If you're hustling, you're making money doing that, it is what it is,
Fuck that. That's a scam.
Again, to each their own, I can't say. But, everybody in the crew that I deal with, we're not press play DJs. It's actually really funny. We opened up a new spot last Friday called La Perla in downtown Glendale.
Nice.
And I took my boy Gemini with me. Shout out to DJ Gemini. And they said that was the first time it ever felt like a nightclub ever. And, it's just one of those things that, with the style that you have and the persona that you bring in, it makes a difference. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So, but not to get on a tangent there, But
That's cool. Are there any plans they have for growth or expansion in the future? Like, are you still going to be trying to adding more people to the crew? I mean, do you yourself in 5 years, are you still DJing in 5 years from now? Like, are you still because you like it, or or
Yeah.
because it's part of your business model, or what's?
That's a great question. So when, like I was telling you, when I was planning to reach my 30-year mark of 30 years old, I had my plans on, how I was going to exit the business, but still help out from afar to where I still have an income coming in. Um, and now I think I've pushed that to where my goal is to be 40, where I may take a step back, only do certain nightclubs here and there. Um, but that's kind of where I see as far as if I were to stop, obviously, you get to an age and you're like, man, I still feel good and I
Yeah,
still want
fuck
to keep
yeah.
doing this, So
Shit.
I guess we'll see, when we get to 40. But as far as expanding, as we talked at the beginning of the show, I had, to let some DJs go. And I think right now I got the perfect, squad or the perfect contact crew
Nice.
to take care of everything. So as far as the DJs themselves and the business model, I think we're going to continue fine tuning and perfecting the model. But I think what's more to come is which, is taking more over as far as more nightclubs, putting that brand out there. And the cool thing is about us is, there's a perspective that, being a DJ, we want to be at this location every Friday or this location every Saturday. And again, I try to be a little different. I don't know about you, but I get tired of being at the same place every fucking night. You know what I mean? So it's cool to, hey, maybe this Friday I'll be here. Maybe this Friday they need somebody to cover. I'll go knock this out. And then the DJs that like being there every single night, they could take care more of those residencies. You know what I mean? So,
Very nice.
so we'll see. I think the place that I've been at the longest is or not La Marquerida, Mierda Agave downtown.
Yeah.
So I'm already going on, sheesh, I think I'm going on 2 years there every single Saturday. So
Okay.
so shout out to Mierda Agave out there. Shout out to Kevin. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do you have any upcoming exciting projects that you have either already planned or are thinking of accomplishing? Did you end up not or did you end up I guess doing production? I think you had told me at the arena. For which artist were you going to do something? I think you had invited me that day, or you told me that I think it wasn't Karim
so-
Leon. I think it was someone that was going to come in town.
So I don't remember because I've kind of put my hands in a little bit of everything, from, trying different things, light engineering, doing a little bit of sound engineering. I've DJ'd for quite a bit of artists. So I mean, it could have been anything. I know I've invited you to quite a few things.
But do you have any project that I guess already kind of?
Yeah,
that
so
you
the
foresee?
next project we have coming up that's going to be kind of a big deal is we have the Cinco de Mayo event coming up in downtown Glendale. That's going to be something that it's in the works, so I probably shouldn't have said it yet, but we're going to be working on that. And then we got a couple other ones that we're working on as well. I believe downtown Phoenix, as well as I think it's Tolleson.
Okay.
So we got those coming up. But other than that, bro, we're just hammering it down with all the events. This year we got a lot more high school proms and homecomings that we're going to be dealing with. We got some college, some college events that we're going to be doing. So we're charting in some territories that we've been before, but maybe not finessed. And that's what we're looking at, is finessing those territories and fine tuning and hopefully being eventually a household name to not only the clients that already hire me, but just in general. I actually, to bring it up, I had a conversation with a lady the other day that at this point she doesn't care who I send. Everybody I send's badass. Everybody I send, does what they're supposed to do and does exactly what their wants and needs are. So I want to continue finessing that. So that's really what the big projection goal is right now, and kind of seeing where it goes.
Nice, that's badass. Cool. Is there any I guess to maybe kind of wrap up soon here, but is there any type of advice, either again money wise or like business wise or mental wise, that you maybe have heard or that sticks with you, that you have heard from someone that you can maybe share to the people out there?
Yeah, so going back to the networking part of things, there was something that I learned, and it's funny because I heard this when I was like in 5th grade, and I don't know why it always stuck with me, but there was a quote from Cesar Chavez that was said, and it was basically him asking a question: do you know what makes a great leader? And a lot of people would answer that, well, character, maybe if this person has this person, this person has that. And what his answer to the people is what makes a great leader is good followers. And that's one thing that I can say that, especially in the music industry, and it may not apply to every entrepreneurship out there, but at least most, is again, networking, taking care of people. One thing that my ex-wife would always hate that I would do is every Christmas, all the DJs, I either take them out to a dinner with them and their spouses, or I buy every single one of them a Christmas gift. Or maybe it's Wednesday, so hey, you know what, guys, we haven't hung out for a while. Let's go to the bar and have a couple beers, and I'll take the tab. Just taking care of your people. That's another thing that I've always been taught, is taking care of the people. And those are just things. You just want to be a good person, bro. If you're a good person, that you are gonna have to figure out that fine tune of being able to distinguish when you're getting taken advantage of. But once you can find out, like, oh, okay, I'm not doing that, I'm being taken advantage of, and figuring out what that fine line is, you end up meeting a lot of great people along the journey of being able to do that. So,
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate those words, because that's a big part of what we do. We're trying to serve the people, trying to do a service.
oh yeah,
And the best that we should be doing is, making it memorable, and so that we can have those recurring customers.
yeah, no, for sure.
That's awesome.
For sure, because I'm sure just like you have customers that, may go by every Sunday, or, every other Sunday, or whatever the case may be. And, and the best customers are the ones that don't ask for discounts. They just want to support. And I think that's what I'm working on the most is, not only building that clientele, but, now I don't even have people that ask me anymore for, hookups. Before, hey, what's the homie hookup? What's the family and friends discount? And
Nice.
It's funny because every once in a while I'll get people that, that'll come to the events to come and see me, and they'll, all my drinks, put it on the DJ's tab. I'm starting to not have that anymore. And, everybody's just coming to enjoy and spend their time and spend their money, and, even sometimes even helping promote. And it's all in the efforts of, being good to people,
Oh yeah, nice. I think I had one more question here. Again, just talking about business, but currently or in the past, I mean, have you taken out any loans, I guess, to either sustain your business or to buy gear, or do you currently, again, maybe might consider taking out a loan to expand, or
Yeah.
to do anything like that?
So that's a great question, because it's one of those things that you have to know. You have to know where you're at financially. I know some DJs that don't have a dime in their account, and they'll go out and take a $5,000, $6,000 loan out to go buy new equipment, and then they realize, oh man, I never really planned to make this monthly payment, or I didn't plan for this amount of interest. And that's another thing is, there's a lot of homework behind taking out a loan that a lot of people don't understand. You got to figure out, can I pay for this interest, this monthly payment, so on and so forth. So what I did, I started out small, taking out credit cards under the business. And they were for small amounts, $5,000 here. I think the most I've ever had was a $20,000 one. And the biggest thing is just make sure that you don't, overstep your boundaries on, what you can afford. There was one point where, I was going through equipment so much because I was buying cheaper stuff that, I was ending up spending more money trying to keep up with payments and so on and so forth. And, just biting the bullet and buying the nice stuff to begin with. And, but that's really what it is. Do your homework on what you can afford, and make sure that you have the income, and don't rush to do that. Take your time. Like I said, if you were to ask the people that saw me DJing when I first started, they didn't know what the equipment looked like, DVD players and car speakers, and you know what I mean. It's one of those things that not everybody knows the latest technology and so on and so forth. So even if you got to get away with, something to get you by for now to help get you to that next step, that's the best way to do it.
Nice. Awesome. Hey, man, well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I do appreciate you coming by. Hopefully this is not the last time. I do want to invite you again soon so that we can continue the chat and maybe come up with some additional topics. I do wish you the best, and hopefully we can hang out soon. And again, just keep on
Likewise.
talking, keep on networking. I do want to meet more of the people in your circle. Again, I
Yeah.
want to grow. You know, I want to grow.
We'll have to bring Victor next time, man.
Let's do it, man. We got. I'll bring some more tequila or some.
Yeah.
Some cheve. I don't know, whatever, you know. But yeah, man, let's do it. There's some few people that I want to bring through. For the people out there listening, recuerden este sábado 14 de diciembre. So this Saturday, actually, I'm talking again about DJs. We're bringing a DJ straight from Miami.
Okay.
She's la
That's
diosa,
badass.
yeah, la diosa de la salsa. So again, for the people out there listening, again, either if it's you trying to start your first gig, or if you're already out there in the business, again, maybe you can reach out to Eli here and
Yeah, most definitely.
and learn how to expand your own business. Maybe you can even try to go out of the state, like how this gal does. But again, this Saturday, we do have La Diosa de la Salsa, which is a pretty well-known Venezuelan DJ.
Yeah, go check her out.
Yeah, so go check her out at La Casa de las Flores in Mesa. And thank you guys for listening. Eli, I appreciate it, man, again.
Hey, thank you, boss.
Thank you.
I
And
appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
nos vemos para la próxima. Que estén bien. Gracias.